All right, guys, we got a good show for you today. Today we have Jayveous McKinnis. He played basketball at Jackson State and just transferred to Ole Miss. Thanks for coming on, man.
What's good? What's good?
Yeah, so I'm interested because everyone's got like a little bit different story. Like, what made you get into basketball? And like growing up, did you play any other sports?
Um, when I was younger, I played soccer, and I was pretty good at it. But I started playing basketball probably 11th grade, my 11th grade year.
Like what made you get into it, and like what made you fall in love with the game? I guess.
Both of my parents used to play, but I wasn't really into it like that at first. So when I was probably when I was probably in 10th grade, dudes like a bunch of my friends was like, "You should try out for the team," because that's probably just when I hit a growth spurt. So they was like, you should just try for the team. Try for the team, just see what happens. So I tried out for the team 11th grade year and I made it.
Yeah. So can you talk about like your experience? You played at Brandon High School. I looked up like your senior year, you were one of the top teams in the state. And what was like your favorite memory there, and what did you learn the most?
Um, my favorite memory probably was just making it to the playoffs, because that was probably that was basically my first time just making it to a playoff game. So that was probably my favorite memory. We lost to a team we shouldn't have lost to, but yeah, and really Brandon taught me how to I wouldn't say how to be aggressive, but they kind of brought it out of me. Like 11th grade year, I was just laid back, chill, didn't really I had passion, but I didn't play with the emotion I play with now. So when I was in 12th grade, that's when they kind of brought the emotion in like in my game.
Yeah. Sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like you really didn't get into basketball till late. So I'm interested, like, what was like recruiting for you coming out of high school? And like, what is one piece you would give to a high schooler going through it today?
Um, high schooler, probably a mindset, like just keeping a tough mindset. Like sometimes coaches that kill like kids' confidence. So just being tough mentally.
Mhm.
Be tough mentally first, then physically second. Because like coaches in high school, they kill like a lot of kids' confidence just by saying like you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do that. So I probably just say, just be confident in what you can do, and be confident in your skills.
Yeah. So what was it like for you coming out of high school recruiting?
Uh, it was kind of dry. I didn't get a lot of D1 offers except for probably like Jackson State. And then I got a lot of JUCO offers, but I didn't really want to go JUCO.
Mhm.
So that's kind of the reason why I went to Jackson State at first.
Yeah. So what was your time like at Jackson State, and like what is that transition to college ball like?
Jackson State was pretty good. I can't really complain about it. I learned a lot of stuff here. My transition was probably kind of easy to me, in my opinion, from
Mhm.
high school to college. It was kind of easy in my opinion because I always had a motor, so I always played with a motor, so stuff kind of came easy to me. When you play with a motor and you're an energy guy at first, I was an energy guy, so it came kind of easy.
Yeah.
And really, the only thing that was probably just difficult for me was probably just the speed of the game.
Mhm.
It's like in high school, it's not really nonstop. Like you stop sometime, then you go, then you stop. But like
Yeah.
in college, it's like everything is fast, so like
Yeah.
fast tempo, everything.
All right. Yeah. So, as your freshman year, a lot of freshmen don't get to play. You got a lot of like quality minutes. What do you think that did for your career?
Uh, when I first came, I really thought it was gonna be difficult for me to play because I was coming in as a freshman. It was all these grown guys. It was real grown. But like when I started getting into the system, I was like, okay, this is how this work. This is how this work. This is how this
Yeah.
work. This is how you play. So it started coming easy to me, and I feel like it helped me a lot, especially my coaches. They gave me the confidence to do what I do. They worked out with me in the gym, so it helped me a lot.
Yeah. So like what's like a day in and day out like routine for like a college basketball player?
Let me see. Well, for me, for me, it's basically when we was in season. Well, when I was a freshman, it was basically wake up at like 5:30, be on the court at like 5:50. 5:50, stretching, and practice started at 6. And then it was like class, probably like at 8, 8:30 class. And you probably got another class at like 12, probably eat around 1. And another class probably at like 3. Probably just go to the gym at night and just start it over, really.
Yeah. It's a nonstop grind. I've noticed that for my freshman year. I feel like it's a big transition for sure. You've gotten to play at a bunch of different places, against some good teams. Where do you think your favorite place to play has been at this point?
My favorite place to play is probably, let me see. It was probably either Memphis when we played Memphis a couple years ago, or Marquette. We played Marquette this year.
Yeah.
And Indiana. Indiana was a tough crowd.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. It's cool to get to, go around and see all these different parts of the world you never think you get to see. I'm interested. So, like, what was your experience like with the transfer portal? And do you think like it was a good change for the NCAA to like add that?
When I entered my name in the transfer portal, it was kind of hectic, like people calling me nonstop, and you got to save numbers, and sometimes you forget to save a number, you don't know who calling you, and you get text messages every like 15 minutes. So it was kind of difficult, but it was really just something that I felt like I had to do. And I'm glad that they did that with the transfer portal. Back in the day, they didn't have it, and it was like coaches were able to leave, but athletes weren't. So I'm glad they kind of did that for athletes, so they can get to a better situation with them.
Yeah. So obviously you'll be like joining an Ole Miss squad. They're coming off like their third losing season in 16 years. Like, what do you want to come in and offer to that team to bring it around this year?
Really, first, really my defense. I've been playing defense my whole life, so I really just bring my defense and really just my intensity, and my motor.
Yeah.
And then my offense game gonna kind of come. So, I just feel like if I bring those things, we'll be a pretty good team. And then especially with the pieces they have last year, they got good guards, they got good forwards. So, I feel like, we'll be kind of in sync together.
Yeah. So you kind of led into my next question. You were a 3-time SWAC Defense Player of the Year. Why do you pride yourself on your defense so much?
I don't know. Defense kind of it's kind of becoming a lost art, in my opinion. Like, not a lot of guys that really just like playing defense, but it's basketball. Like, you can't just be. I tell people this all the time. You can't just be an offensive player. Try to be a two-way player, because they kind of catch the eye more than the guy who just score. All they do is score. But then you score, and then you're gonna guard the best player on the other end. So that's kind of why I'm just trying to pride myself in defense by being a two-way player.
Yeah, no, 100%. That makes so much sense. Do you anticipate like a big difference from where you played to the SEC, and like what's like is that difference? Have you started looking at like film and different things yet, or not really?
Like I said, I've played against Ole Miss before. I played against these big schools, Iowa State. In my opinion, I feel like the SWAC is kind of harder than the SEC, in my opinion, because like in the SWAC, it's like they know you, and like they just, I don't know what it is, but it's like they play harder. But when I played in the SEC, it was kind of like, oh, I'm getting in my spot, or I'm doing what I like. It was just easy. It just came easy to me.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're gonna see. I feel like really it's just up to me. Like, if I go out there and do what I'm supposed to do, then it's gonna fall in place.
Yeah, for sure. What are your like goals for the season for you, and then as like a team?
I really haven't even thought about goals for me as like just independent yet, because I'm just getting here. But for a team, I definitely want to have a winning season. Probably be first or second in the conference, and then go to March Madness, of course.
Yeah. In your opinion, what do you think like makes an NBA player like in your mind?
Really just being in the gym nonstop. People say that, like, if you ask a pro, they're gonna be like, it's being in the gym nonstop. So it kind of becomes cliche, like, oh, that's just what they always say. But it's real though. If you're in the gym nonstop and you seeing your ball go in, You know what I mean? Repetition creates confidence, really.
Yeah.
And then probably just like blocking stuff out mentally, you know, like, yeah, just blocking all the outside stuff, like stuff out and just being strictly on basketball, you know, you probably gonna make it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it's kind of hard to do though for some people.
Yeah. So I have a question, like what is like one thing if you had to go back and like change in your basketball career you would? Is there anything?
Probably will be in high school. I probably shoot the ball a lot more in high school.
Yeah.
Probably just that.
Yeah. All right, two more questions. Obviously you have a goal of getting to the NBA someday. Like what do you think like you want to work on to, make it to the NBA?
Really, probably just making a wide open shot, you know, being consistent with my shot and really being able to put the ball on the floor. Like I feel like I got everything, well not everything, but I feel like I got mostly everything on defense that I need. You know, I got the tools, I got the motor, and then it's the same thing with like finishing at the rim. You know, I feel like I can finish at the rim pretty good already. So if I add like, you know, being able to handle the ball a little better, you know, just making a wide open shot, being able to space the floor, you know, I'll be a pretty good player.
Yeah. Awesome. Final question. We always finish off with it. When people say Jayveous McKinnis, how do you want people to remember your name?
I want them to remember my name. Probably is like I don't even know. Probably animal. You know, I want people to know that, you know, wherever I play, wherever I go, you know, I'm gonna always be an animal.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, man. I appreciate it. It was fun. Appreciate your time, man. And good luck the rest of the season.